Anthropic just dropped Claude Opus 4.8. And if you care about building with AI, it might be the most important model release of 2026 so far. Not because it beats GPT 5.5 on a chart somewhere, but because it changes what it actually feels like to code with an AI partner. Today we are going to dissect what Opus 4.8 actually changed under the hood, what the benchmarks really mean, and why this matters whether you are preparing for a Google Level 1050 interview or building production systems at scale. First, why context matters right now. The frontier model race in 2026 is not about who has the biggest training run anymore. That era is over. It is about reliability, agentic capability, and tool use. OpenAI has GPT 5.5 with Codex, a dedicated coding agent that can autonomously navigate multi-file repositories. Google has Gemini Omni Flash with native video output in a unified architecture that processes text, images, audio, and video simultaneously. Meta has Llama 4 open weights powering the generation of fine-tuned coding models. And Anthropic just fired back with Opus 4.8, released on May 28. The headline numbers are striking. 69.2% on Sway Bench Pro, up from 64.3% on Opus 4.7. That is a 5-point jump in a single release, which in the world of frontier model benchmarks is enormous. On Terminal Bench 2.1, it hits 74.2%, up 8.5 points. And it has 4 times fewer in-flagged code flaws than Opus 4.7. But the real story is not the numbers. It is how the model behaves when you actually put it to work. Let us start with the architecture story. Opus 4.8 is built on the same underlying architecture as Opus 4.7. It is not a new parameter count, not a new base model, not a new training run at massive scale. What changed is the post-training pipeline, the reinforcement learning from human feedback, and the alignment specifically for agentic tasks. Anthropic invested heavily in making the model better at tool calling, better at self-correction, and dramatically better at maintaining long context windows without degradation. The result is a model that uses fewer steps for the same intelligence, which is exactly what you want when you are running autonomous engineering workloads that need to run unattended. Think of it as the difference between a junior developer who needs constant hand-holding and a senior engineer who understands the task, asks clarifying questions only when necessary, and delivers complete solutions. Let us talk about Sway Bench Pro because that benchmark is the closest thing we have to a proxy for real software engineering capability. Sway Bench tests whether a model can fix real GitHub issues from real open source repositories. It tests code comprehension, debugging ability, and patch generation quality. Opus 4.8 scoring 69.2% means it can successfully fix about 7 out of 10 real-world software bugs autonomously without human intervention. That is not a toy benchmark. Those are landed patches in complex codebases like Django, Flask, and SymPy. For comparison, the average human junior engineer at a FAANG company resolves issues with roughly similar success rates when you account for back and forth with code reviewers and the time spent understanding unfamiliar code. So we are at parity with entry-level human engineers on bug fixing. And the model works 24/7 without context switching overhead. For engineering managers, this changes the staffing calculus entirely. Now Terminal Bench 2.1 is even more interesting for the infrastructure crowd. This benchmark tests the model's ability to perform multi-step terminal tasks that involve planning, executing commands, parsing outputs, and recovering from errors in a real shell environment. Think of it as the model being dropped into a Linux server and asked to diagnose and fix problems. End to end. 74.2% completion rate means the model can handle complex DevOps workflows, debugging sessions, and deployment pipelines without a human in the loop. And here is the kicker that early testers consistently highlight. The model proactively flags issues with its own inputs and outputs that other models routinely miss. It catches ambiguous instructions, questions incorrect assumptions, and surfaces edge cases before they cause failures. That is a qualitative difference in reliability, not just a quantitative improvement on a leaderboard. The third section is the one that matters most for builders. Dynamic workflows in Claude Code. This is a new feature that lets the model tackle very large-scale problems by dynamically creating and managing its own subtasks. Instead of trying to solve a massive refactor in one shot and losing context halfway, the model breaks the problem into phases, works through each systematically, and reports progress. For anyone who has ever tried to get an AI to refactor a Java monolith into microservices, you know exactly how big this is. Earlier models would lose context around the 2000-line mark, forget the overall plan, or start hallucinating imports that do not exist. Opus 4.8 with dynamic workflows maintains coherence across tens of thousands of lines of change. It works like a staff engineer who knows when to step back, plan the approach, then step in and execute precisely. This is the kind of capability that makes autonomous coding agents viable for production use. There is also the economics angle. Opus 4.8 introduces fast mode, which runs at 2.5 times the speed for 3 times less cost than previous fast mode tiers. At the new pricing of $15 per million output tokens in fast mode, you can run thousands of autonomous engineering tasks for the cost of one human contractor on a single project. This changes the calculus for every store evaluating AI tooling for their engineering org. The question is no longer, can AI write code? It is, how do we build the workflow around AI code generation to maximize throughput? Quote. Now here is the so what. Why this matters for interview prep and career building. If you are preparing for Google, Microsoft, or Anthropic interviews in 2026, you need to understand frontier model capabilities at a technical depth that goes beyond surface level awareness. Interviewers are no longer asking just about transformer architecture and attention mechanisms. They are asking how you would engineer systems that use frontier models as components. They want to know if you understand the trade-offs between inference cost, latency, accuracy, and agentic reliability. Questions about tool use architectures, context window management strategies, and benchmark methodology and its limitations are becoming standard. If you can walk into an interview and discuss why Sway Bench Pro is a more realistic measure of coding capability than human eval, and explain the specific failure modes that still cause models to fail on complex multi-file bugs, you are demonstrating the kind of systems-level thinking that top companies now expect from milliliter engineering candidates. Let me give you a concrete example. In a Google L5 megaliters interview, you might be asked, design a system that uses a frontier model for automated code review at scale across a monorepo with 10,000 engineers. The right answer touches on retrieval augmented generation for codebase context, batching strategies to handle API rate limits, confidence thresholding for when to escalate to human reviewers, continuous evaluation pipelines to catch regressions, and cost optimization between fast and standard inference tiers. Being able to reference Opus 4 aids us weigh bench and terminal bench numbers with understanding of their methodology signals real depth, and the ability to articulate where models still fail, like handling security-sensitive code changes or domain-specific proprietary frameworks, shows you are not just parroting numbers. To wrap this up, here is what I want you to take away. Claude Opus 4.8 is not a revolution in AI capabilities. It is a refinement in reliability. And that is exactly what the industry needs right now. The era of brute force scaling is giving way to the era of reliability engineering in AI systems. The models that win in production will not necessarily be the ones with the most parameters or most training data. They will be the ones that you can trust to do the work without constant supervision. Opus 4.8 is a meaningful step in that direction. If you found this breakdown valuable, subscribe to Serious Code for more deep dives into the AI techniques that actually matter. Next time, we are going to look at how Google DeepMind's co-scientist is changing the way researchers discover new science using multi-agent hypothesis generation. It might just be the most ambitious AI application of the year. I will see you in the next one.